The old kike is going bananas at the moment, so we need to slow this bad boy down so I can keep on top of it. I did not think I'd be saying that when we haven't even hit 20 degrees yet this season, but it's going absolutely crazy. So put down some plant growth regulator, put some fertilizer down with it as well, just keep some colour in it while we're putting that down. And this lawn's looking good, and we're going to squeeze it down to 12 mil very soon, but I've got to slow it down first before I go too crazy with that. Before we start, I've got to trim around this tree because I didn't do it before my last cut with all the rain. Goes to show how long it's all grown. That's since I've done my reno, which was only 2.5 weeks ago. What you doing, Schnitty? Anyway, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Nice to have that turn up. So good. So now we'll be able to do some stuff down at the green when it's even slightly boggy, and a level bar too. Shout out to Hutchinson Piers for all that stuff. Appreciate those guys. Man, looking after me. Also, I'll have to show you guys these mowers soon, these Cub Cadet ones. Lithium batteries in these bad boys. Guys down at Central West Mowers have given me these to have a lend of and try out. So we'll do that. Yo mate, what up? Welcome to another lawn tip vid. This is currently been cut at 15 mil? 12 mil? 15 mil. And the reason I'm putting down some plant growth regulator, which is Primo, which is going to slow down the growth of this, is because I did a cut 2.5 days after I did that cut in my last video, and I got off 4 catches off 1 pass. So this thing is growing like crazy. We had snow in town yesterday, and the temps are freezing. This thing's still going gangbusters. I'd say it's because of all the rain, and it's pushing a bit of growth, and that fertilizer I kicked in a little bit earlier as well. We did our renovation, plus it's got core holes in it, got sand which heats it up a bit more as well with our soil temp. So a couple of different things, but we need to slow it down so I can start bringing my height of cut down, because every time I ski up you can see there's some long gangly bits here. We need to slow those down with the plant growth regulator so we can get lettuce off with each cut and it doesn't turn too yellow. So this is the product that we're going to be using today. This is some Primo Max. So this is a plant growth regulator. So the active in it is trinexapac ethyl. So what this basically does is slows down the growth of our lawn. Now, a lot of people have asked me in the past, is it going to help it thicken up and spread sideways? Not really. What it does is it helps the lawn tiller. So when you've got a plant and you've got the stem off it, and you find it shoots blades off the side, it's just going to shoot more and more blades, so the lawn looks a lot more dense and a lot thicker. So it shortens down the nodes between the runners as well, so you're probably going to get a more dense lawn. So if we're looking at a node, sort of hard to see on camera, I'll get up an image on the screen for you, but the node's just here. I'm not sure if you can see it, like a little, it's almost like a little pimple, like a little circular, oh my goodness, I'm struggling, circular lump just there. So it does shorten the distance between the nodes, which just allows the plant to be a lot more dense. So you'd find you'd see a lot more offshoots with this if we had some plant growth regulator on there. So the more regularly you use the product, the plant growth regulator, the more you're going to get on top of your lawn, the more dense it's going to look, the more colour it's going to hold, and better it's going to look overall. You use a lot on golf courses, on golf greens, to help, you know, stop cutting so much off at a time and help with that denser, more compact surface to help the ball roll nicely. And it means you can stop putting equipment on everything all the time as well. And since it's not growing so quickly and so often, you do tend to save a little bit of water as well, because it's not putting so much energy into the growth of the lawn. So just be aware with our warm season grass, first time you ever apply a plant growth regulator, or the first time for the season, it can yellow off your lawn just a smidge. So we're going to add some liquid iron to this as well, and a little bit of nitrogen, so my enhanced product, just to help retain some colour with it, just in case we get a slight bit of discoloration. We should be okay though, because there's so much moisture in the ground, and there's more rain coming at the end of in the next couple of days. Shouldn't have any rain for the next little while, so you sort of want to leave it on a leaf for at least an hour or two. I'd go 4 to 6 hours if you can, and not let rain actually hit it so that the product works properly. But yeah, just be aware that it can discolor a little bit. When you first start off with it, stick to the lower rates, and then you can ramp it up once you start using it more and more often. Just so you're aware also, there is something called growing degree days. Now we won't get too intense with this and talk about it too much. I've had a few videos where I've talked about it quite a bit, but growing degree days is basically like a calculator that helps you figure out how often and when to reapply your plant growth regulator. So on that Lawn Journal app that I've shown you guys before, that I've helped put some ideas into, that's made by Austin, it's only on Apple at the moment, but Lawn Journal, if you look it up, it does have a little growing degree days calculator on there. Or you can also go on Syngenta's website, put in your actual address or your region, and then it's basically going to tell you when you can reapply that product again. If you really want to understand how all that works, Syngenta's website actually has a how-to on how it works and explains it as well. I won't go too in depth here, or check out my old video as well, which I blabbed on about it for absolutely ages. Very, very interesting stuff. But it's just really going to help stop that top growth and just help it thicken up and look a little bit nicer, because the lawn is very, very filled in. I'll show you. So you can see we don't really have any bare patches here. You can see we've got a bit of a scalp here from when I last mowed, just because I had to cut so much off again, unfortunately. Really struggling to keep on top of it, but the lawn is nice and thick, quite dense as you can see as well. Very, very dense. But we can get more color into this, I reckon, and we can make it looking a lot nicer, a little bit more like Cooch instead of Kikuyu. I love Kike, but I do like Cooch a lot more. There's only a few bare spots here on this lawn, so we've got this bare spot just here, which that's really, really filled in since we've done our renovation from what it looked like before. And then we've got a bare spot here as well, but you can see there's runners all throughout it. There's Kikuyu all throughout that as well. Had a little bit of wash from when we had some really heavy storms, but there's still some sand in there. So I'm gonna wait until that's filled in, till I really, really top dress that again. So we didn't lose too much sand this year round because we left the lawn a bit longer when we top dressed it. But these bare patches, I'm not worried about. I'm still gonna put my plant growth regulator down on here, and the rest of the lawn is definitely ready for it, I'll tell you what. And just the last tip I've got for you guys is make sure that you don't mow 4 hours before you put down your plant growth regulator. It can make your lawn go a funny color, or 4 hours afterwards as well. I've done it once or twice before, and it sort of goes like a gray sort of a color. It comes back, but yeah, just so you know, if it changes color, you probably mowed it beforehand. Okay, so these are the products we're going to use today. So the main one we're using is obviously our plant growth regulator, so our Primo Max. We've got our Brilliance to help give it just some nutrition through the microbes and a little bit of, just a little bit more color, as well as the Enhance, which is really going to kick in with that color because of that 10% iron in there. If I was going to apply anything, I'd chuck down the Enhance and the Primo, but I want to put a little bit of extra product in there just for our root system, just because we are getting so much rain in that as well. So I want to sort of promote some root growth. You tend to find when you get lots and lots of rain, since your lawn isn't searching for water, the roots aren't searching for water, the root system actually starts to shrink a little bit. Not a crazy amount, but if you get it continually for a very long time, you will find once you get a dry spell, it will struggle a bit because it's not used to having to stretch out and search for water. So we're going to put down our roots product as well today for that reason. So a bit of a different mix. It's kind of a mix between the spring and summer mix, spring and autumn, sorry, and the winter one. So a couple of products from the summer mix and a couple from the winter one. So all these products are compatible anyway, so you can mix them around. They're going to be fine working together. And as I've always said, the reason I really, really like these products is because of the included microbes in them, which these are all available on my website. If you guys want to support me, it really does help out with obviously the projects coming up and supporting the family as well. But today we'll put out 8 litres of water, so 4 litres per 100 square metres of water. That's what I always basically use for liquid products. And then if it needs to be watered in, I'll just water it in afterwards if it needs a little bit of extra water, like barricade or an insecticide or something like that. So 4 litres per 100 square metres of water or carrier. So we've got 200 square metres here, 8 litres of water. So make sure you guys always read the label. All of your application rates are in here as well. It's got a little label on the front of it here. So we're going to put it down at probably a very low rate today. We're only going to go at about 20 mil per 100 square metres. Next application, I'm going to bump it up to about 40 mil. So just a light rate here today. So only going to put out 40 mil of product for 200 square metres because we're going to go at 20 mil per 100. And that's all you need, man. You do not need much of this stuff. So I did say to make sure it doesn't rain while you're applying this stuff. We're getting a light sprinkle at the moment. that's not going to be a problem. It'd be something if it washed it off the leaf, there'd be an issue. We're getting showers like this on and off at the moment. I'll try to get a little update tomorrow morning of how this looks as well, because liquid iron does kick in very quickly. So I'll pop out and get a little bit of footage of this tomorrow morning and show you guys how it looks. So we're back. Definitely greened up, and it's only, what, it's almost been 24 hours, getting close to 24 hours. Bro, man, I tell you what, when you put plant growth regulator down too, it just gets this look to it. You can tell within a couple of hours that you put down the old plant growth regulator, but it is looking nice in color. It'll keep getting a little bit darker over the next day or two. Normally about day 3-ish, you find you get the most color response out of it. Look at this. Oh, bro. It just excites me when I start getting plant growth regulator down. Honestly, one of my favorite products for sure, the old PGR. All right, well, thanks all for watching. Appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.